Okay, we're back. I know it's been quite a minute since I've uploaded anything to the YouTubes, but I just wanted to make a short video to highlight a game that I like a whole lot, and I think people have slept on it. I don't hear anything about this game. Like, there's no real love for it. So, you know, what the hell? Let's make a short video about a really cool game. The game is called Slipstream. It is a sort of 90s era pixel racer in the vein of Outrun, as you can very well see. And it's just a ton of fun, and I don't think the game gets enough love, and I, for one, would just like to put it out there that this game is worthy of your attention. That's all. So, I've had this game actually for a while on the Xbox and have really enjoyed the hell out of it. But I haven't put anything up to YouTube about it. Whoa, just because for some reason Microsoft has decided to make it a royal pain in the ass to put your content from their box onto the YouTubes, which makes no effing sense to me at all. I mean, you know, to be fair, Microsoft has done a lot right this generation, but they've done some stuff wrong, and that's one of the things that they've gotten pretty wrong. Anyway, let's stop crapping on Microsoft for a second. They do have a very good system out. They've made some questionable choices, let's say. But anyway, now that I've picked this up on the PlayStation, and it's a lot easier to put content out on the PlayStation for the YouTubes anyway. Let's talk about this version of it. So, you know, as you noticed, it follows the same sort of format of Outrun, where you kind of run through these areas. There are rivals that you race against, and you sort of pick a path that you want to go to, and it'll take you through different variations or different tracks. Whoa, I'm doing really poorly. It's hard to talk and play this game at the same time. But anyway, like I say, this game is not novel. There's a lot of retro pixel racing, sort of throwback, homage, whatever you want to call it, to this era of games. Well, and if, like me, you're old AF, you know, just basically knocking on the door of being a senior citizen, you probably have nostalgia for these kind of games back when they used to live in arcades, look much worse than this, and would do something very, very mean, which would be to steal the quarters of children everywhere. Just heartless racing games. This thing doesn't need to steal your quarters. Whoa. Because it's already got them all in the form of, you know, you bought this content. And to be fair, that's one of the things that's kind of cool about the game, too, is it's not very expensive. Even at full price, this game is just $10. I think it's a very small dev team, maybe one guy with some help in the music and stuff. Also, look at this, rewind. You have a 5-second rewind that you can use at any time to correct a mistake. But it is on a cooldown, so you can't just constantly spam it, which is nice. But at any rate, like I say, it's a very inexpensive game, only $10, and I picked it up on sale on the PSN store for like $5.99. Here we go again. Oh, hit the cooldown so I can use the rewind. Okay, so, which brings us to another point. Speaking of cooldowns and being old, if you're trying to play this game, and like me, you're super old, you do not have the reflexes and the hand-eye coordination of like a 20-something. You just don't have that anymore. Or if there's someone very young playing it, you know, games like these can be very difficult because everything happens so fast and you need such a reaction time. Well, if you're very young and you're very old and you don't have the coordination or the reflexes of a young man, have I got an option for you. Check this out, y'all. You can come in here, scroll down to the very bottom, game speed. You could actually turn the game speed down to where everything just slows down a bit and makes it easier for you to handle if you're old or very young. So now this is the same game and just sort of played at like 60% speed now, which is incredible because it's still fun. But it enables old people and young people to play the game. But also it does a couple of other things too. By slowing the game down, when you first get the game, there are techniques you need to learn and master, like the drifting, slipstream, and when you're in a drift, if you've gone wide, really wide of the apex, trying to tighten in your turn can be very difficult, and you need a way to practice that without it being so punishing because everything is happening so quickly. You just turn the game speed down while you're learning, and you can learn and practice these techniques at a very relaxed speed. So it helps you learn the game, so then when you turn the game back up to higher speeds if you want to, you're much better at the game without all the punishment of, failing at full speed, let's say. But another sort of surprising thing that turning down the game speed does is it changes the whole nature of the game itself, in that at full speed or screw it, I'm just going to live with that mistake. Theme of my life, actually. Okay, come on, quit making mistakes. Also another theme of my life. One of the things that it does, it changes the nature of the game from a frenetic, fast-paced, adrenaline-pumping game to something that is very casual and relaxing. That you can just kind of if you're not in the mood to play something super twitchy and requires, the most out of what reflexes you have, and you just feel like just chilling out and listening to this cool/silly 80s inspired synthwave music and just sort of cruising the roads, just like it's a Cruising USA game or something. Very casually, you can do that and just sip your coffee or tea, and you sort of play the game in a very casual way. So it makes the game very, makes the game very flexible in that way. But there are some other features about this. Whoa, let's try to rewind that one. I'm talking so much, I'm playing very poorly. I have played this game before, I promise you. I don't normally talk during it, but So, you got the gist of the game. It's fun, but it's also, it's very adjustable in its speed and difficulty and all that kind of stuff. There's not a huge amount of cars to select from. I think there's only 5 cars to pick. And all just sort of based on their stats as far as acceleration and handling and top speed, yada yada. They're not licensed cars, but you can tell what they're based on. So in addition to this mode here, where it's kind of like outrun mode, there's also several other ones. Let's get back out of here and get into that, and just sort of a little explanation. Haven't tried any of the multiplayer at all, so I don't really know anything about that. And in this version of the game, the PlayStation version, I haven't gotten very far because I've played it for less than 15 minutes is what the console is telling me. But I put a few hours in the Xbox version. So as far as a single player, the Grand Tour that's basically outrun mode, where you go through 5 levels and you kind of decide your path through those levels. Now there are a total of 15 different levels to go through. You can do a single race mode where you do that point-to-point race. You can do a Grand Prix mode where it actually takes these cars and joins the end, the start to the finish, so it makes them circular. So you can actually do laps. So you can do different races on any of the 15 tracks that they've got, but it actually turns them into circuit races, which is kind of cool. And then you can do a cannonball where you can take, for how many ever races you want to do. You can your traffic density you can adjust, how many tracks you can go, just from 1 all the way up to 15. or actually, it'll let you go 30, but really that's just all the same tracks reversed. So yeah, it's very adjustable in the way that you can play it. Lots of fun stuff that you can do. When I first started playing the game, I only did the Grand Tour, and then I started experimenting with these other single-player modes and found that they're really fun too. And then there's a Battle Royale, which is basically like it's an elimination race, as you can see. Last person gets eliminated. You just try to work your way up and not be last. But yeah, it's very, very fun, very cool, and it's something that I think that's just been really overlooked. If you have any interest in this type of game at all, I think it's worth your while. But that's it. That's my 2 cents. I'm gonna end this video now and go back to playing this game for real and try to work my way up in this game's progression to get at least to the point where I was on the Xbox version. So with that, I will say thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.